Warthunder is now in open beta for its tanks, for its ground forces. So I decided to give you a bit of a view of some of my first games. I'm still getting used to the maneuvering, the whole control system. Having just played a lot of World of Tanks, it's kind of weird how you zoom in. But anyway, there we go. I'm playing around with the controls here, that's why it's flashing up and down a bit. I do beg your forgiveness. Anyway, this is a replay of a game where I got 9 kills, so just enjoy the gameplay while I'm talking a little bit about how Warthunder Ground Forces is different from World of Tanks. So let's start with the graphics. As you can see, the tank models are very high quality. The terrain is very high quality as well. You can see a lot of grass, you can see a lot of trees, which makes a massive difference in terms of spotting the enemy, because here you don't get the magic bling sound and red outline. Certainly when you're playing in simulator mode you don't. In realism and arcade mode you do get markers over the enemy tanks, even though you still have to actually look for them with your eyes and spot them. I bet you didn't see that guy I was shooting at down there, nor did I hit him, so you know, whatever. Maps, you can't see the minimap here because it's a replay, but the minimap would show you that the map here, Kuban I think it is about 4, maybe 10 times as large as any World of Tanks map. So that means that the tanks are a lot more dispersed. You don't often get into clinches with your teammates and run into each other and all that kind of stuff. You do get into close combat from time to time, but not near as often as you do in World of Tanks. That brings me to the physics model. The tanks maneuver much more realistically. So for those of us who have actually driven tracked vehicles, you will know that a tracked vehicle that works by braking one track while accelerating the other track will be quite prone to oversteer when you do that too much. And these tanks, they actually skid around corners when they get up to speed as a proper tracked vehicle would do. So much more a realistic feel than World of Tanks there. Now in terms of the tanks you can drive, I'm driving a Panzer III, I think it is. There's like all different versions, a lot of different versions of Panzer IIs, Panzer IIIs, Panzer IVs. Then you get the Panthers, you get the Tigers, the King Tigers, and you have of course the tank destroyer line with your Stooks and your Jagdpanzers and Jagdpanthers. So all is centered around vehicles that actually saw action in the Second World War. This is a big difference from the mass of prototypes and other ingenious machines they've put into World of Tanks, like the Waffenträger E100. I'm just going to speed it up here a bit because otherwise it's going to get boring for you. So I'm shooting a lot down there. So the tank models are realistic ones. You have on the Russian side, you only have the Germans and the Russians in for now, but it seems there will be Japanese, American and British tanks coming out quite soon. But the Russian tanks, T-34s, T-50s, T-26, T-28, as you'd expect, the Su-76, the Su-122 and so on and so forth, and of course the KV series, KV-1, KV-2 up to the last tank being an IS-3, which didn't technically see action in World War II, but it was manufactured and it was part of the victory parade in Berlin in 1945. So much for tank models. The damage model, as you have seen me take a couple of hits, is much more elaborate. You can see in the right side, when you hit someone, you do critical damage. There's like a list of 10-15 different types of critical damage you can do to them. So it's much more elaborate, and very often your engine will go, your transmission will go, your gunner will get knocked out so you can't shoot for a couple of seconds and so on. Much more elaborate. Aiming, you can't see that here, but you actually need to aim manually. So the way that works is, depending on the range, you need to estimate the range and you need to elevate your gun accordingly. Just like World of Tanks, you need to lead the tanks left, right and so on. See how I'm taking a lot of damage. I think I end up killing him. So luckily my gun was able to shoot him better than he was able to shoot me. That was kind of stupid, but anyway, you can see you ding a lot of times. You do need to aim for weak spots and place where you can penetrate, so it's kind of hard really. So that is kind of it. I'll put up some more replays for you as soon as I get around to doing some more good games here. Generally, my assessment, my conclusion, if you will, it's a very, very good game. I really enjoyed playing this, especially in simulator mode, where you actually have to look for tanks, and you can see how hard it is with shadows and everything. Some people turn off the grass and trees, makes it easier to spot things. But yeah, each to his own. Oh, boom. Very good game. I love the physics model. I like the way you need to manually adjust for range with your aiming. It's brilliant. So, I hope you've enjoyed the show. We win this one by capping and killing a few more. And until the next Warthunder Ground Forces video, take care of yourself and stay frosty.